In this video, we're going to look at how a bubble sort works. A bubble sort is one of the 4 different common algorithms you will need to know both at Key Stage 3 and when you get up to GCSE if you take GCSE Computer Science with us. So this is one of the ways that a computer can sort a set of data, or in this case a set of numbers. So it's a set of cards. In computing we call many of the same item to be an array. So here there's an array of cards, and you'll look at arrays when you were in maths, when you were slightly further down at the top end of Key Stage 1, and then when you were in Key Stage 2. So for this array here, we've got card 0 through to card 5. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is card 5. It doesn't start at 1 like a lot of things in maths do. It starts at 0 instead. So this is position 0, this is position 1, this is position 2, this is position 3, this is position 4, and this is position 5. So that is referred to in computing as the index of that particular in the list, or an array like we said before. This is an example here of a one-dimensional array because it only goes along in a way like an x-axis, like from maths. So what happens is, in a bubble sort, it starts at the very left-hand item or index here, and it compares that to the card on the right to it, or the item one above in the array. So what it does is it says, is the card on the right smaller than the card on the left? If it is, swap it, otherwise keep it the same. So in this case here, these two cards have got exactly the same value, they've got the number 3. So we're going to leave those cards the way it is. It then goes on the next two cards, so position 1 and position 2. And it compares these two cards. Is the card on the right bigger than the card on the left? Well, in this case it is, so we can keep exactly the same way it is. Okay, next card. Is card position 2 smaller than card position 3? Again, it is, so that's absolutely fine. At this point, it then looks at the cards here and says, is card in position 3 smaller than card position, is bigger or smaller than card position 4? In this case, the card's in the wrong order, so it swaps them round. It puts them where temporarily, moves the card across, and swaps those round. Then what happens is it looks at the last two positions in the array, and it says, is this card, the queen, bigger than the card in the last position? Well, it is. So it then drags that card up to there. It's known as a bubble sort because the largest card, or the largest bit of data, whether that's a number or whether that's a string, such as a letter like from A to Z, always will bubble up to the top of the list. When it gets to the end of the list of array, it then goes, are these cards in order? Well, we can see that they're a bit better in order, but they're not quite in order yet. So it goes back to the very start and starts at position 0, and it checks the cards and says, are the cards in the right order? Now you'll notice that 1 and 2 are fine, 3 and 4 are fine, but here the card with the value 7 is in the wrong order, so that will bubble up and we'll move from here to here. Then we'll compare these two cards, the 7 to 2, well, it's bigger than that, and then the second biggest number will bubble up. Again, it gets to the end and goes, okay, are these cards now in order? Well, no, they're not, so I need to go back through again, and it starts at this card again, and it works its way through. A bubble sort is very slow, but it does actually work. So one of its negatives is slow. One of its positives is it's really easy to implement in code. It's not a hard sort algorithm to do. There are algorithms out there which are faster, but they're slightly harder to actually do using code in Python or using block-based programming like Tinker or something like that. So what we want you to do now is you've got 6 cards from your teacher, you want to shuffle them, and you're going to have a go doing that exact same process, doing a bubble sort with your cards. You can do one or two things. You could use a timer on your Chromebook on a timer, or just count the number of swaps, or the number of times you have to go through all the cards, just to see how efficient it is to start getting an idea of that.